Have you ever wondered what therapy is like, or what your loved ones talk about when they are with their therapist? Well, now you can be a fly on the wall in a real therapy session, an Unnoticed Observer. During this episode, you'll hear a real group therapy session with a modern twist. Our group therapy sessions are done as a mock podcast where participants are encouraged to have open dialogue about their mental health and addiction challenges. As an observer of this episode, we hope that you will learn something helpful for those among us whose struggles often go unnoticed. All personally identifiable information has been removed for the privacy of the participants. Thank you for listening.
So what an exciting day, because we have two new group members, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves on the show by their show name. Yeah, go first. Sure, please.
What do I say?
Your name on the show?
Hi, I'm Quaddles.
And?
I'm the wizard, or wizard.
It's just one word, so it'll be wizard. Quaddles and Wizard, welcome to our group. And I don't know what they've told. Have they told you anything about the group?
We put up very interesting, very eye-opening discussions.
Cool. And don't curse. And that's
Okay.
it. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
And we use fake names. Like,
Quaddles,
my name is
that means
Sharkman.
you.
Sharkman.
That is Maxwell.
Maxwell.
Quaddles. Wizard.
Princey.
Sink. And that's the group. So what we do traditionally when some people are new to the group or someone's new to the group is we devote the group to getting to know them. So there's two of you, so I say we split it because that's good math. And the first half we'll talk to Quaddles, and the second half we'll talk to both of you, but we're going to interview Quaddles, and then we're going to interview the Wizard afterwards.
Yee.
So Quaddles, who is showing great affection to this plant.
It's dying.
We're all going to interrogate you now. So we're all going to ask you questions. So, Sink, why don't you get us kicked off with the interviewing? By the way, nice haircut.
Thank you.
Why don't you start the questioning?
All right. So just like anything?
I call starting
Yeah.
wizards questioning.
Yeah, for Quaddles.
Oh, okay.
Like to get to know them? Or?
Yeah, to get to know them.
Okay.
Go.
What is your favorite TV show?
I don't know.
Do you watch much TV?
I haven't been near like a TV that, like, I haven't watched my TV since like September.
Then movie.
So many.
Name a few.
Titanic, Mean Girls, Casablanca.
Good picks, classics.
Yeah.
I know
Why are
that.
you here?
I think y'all know why I'm here.
I know.
Where to begin? I am, like, I have depression, which can show itself in many forms, but for, like, a lot of time, it's been, like, 6 years, I just, like, have been in my room, like, expressing that with the door closed, like, locked, and so nobody knew. And then I told my parents, and then they were freaked out. And then I was in the hospital for, like, a really long time. And then I was at a few different residentials. And then I was back at the hospital.
What
And I'm
kicked
here.
off your depression?
Like, abuse from my mom and just, like, neglect from my family.
What kind
And
of,
it's also genetic.
What kind of abuse?
She used to beat me. She tried to kill us.
Your mom tried to kill you?
Yeah.
How?
She held the knives in my throat.
What kind of knife?
How do you know what knives are called?
Like a big knife, a small knife, like a combat knife, a cooking knife? Like what kind of
It was
knife?
kind of like a big knife, but, like, it was sharp. So,
Like for cutting meat or something? Like a kitchen knife?
yeah, I think so.
What was the context? Do you
She was
guys
mad
all
at
know
my-
the story already?
She was, like, mad at my dad or something.
You guys must have curiosity about this. Like,
What was going through your head?
I don't know. I was, like, 6.
to the best of your memory.
I was just scared that my brother was gonna die. I didn't really think about myself at the time. I mean, yeah, I was really scared for him.
Were you able to comprehend what was happening at the time?
Not really. I was just like, whoa, okay, so my mom is very interesting. Do normal kids have this? I thought normal kids had that until, like, 10. I thought it was kind of normal, but then I found out it wasn't, and I was like, oh, that's different. I was kind of mad at my dad for making my mom angry. I don't really remember being mad at my mom, though. I felt like she had a reason.
How did your dad make her angry?
I don't even remember. I think it was something about taxes or something.
But why would she attack you?
She never wanted kids, and my dad was the one who wanted kids. And so, like, she knew that he didn't really care about, like, money stuff because, like, he gets lots of money from work, and he'll continue doing that. So she was like, oh, well, I'm just going to take these children.
So you were adopted, you mean?
No. Like, my mom never wanted to have kids, but, like, she decided to have kids because he wanted her to, pretty much.
So, because she loved him and she wanted to give him what he wanted?
I don't know if they were ever in love. Like, they act like distant cousins, so I can't, like, imagine them being in love, but I suppose once upon a time they were, maybe. I don't know anything about my family.
Because here's my curiosity. Like, if your mom didn't want kids, why would she have them? Like,
I have no idea.
She specifically told you I never wanted kids?
You know, we've talked about this a lot. And she's sorry now. She's a different person. She's getting over it. I just like to clarify that. Like, I don't want to discount her efforts now. It's different, but she's been through, like, a lot of different phases in her life.
All right, let me pause you for a second. I'm going to ask you some questions because I don't think you've asked enough questions where's the scene set? Anyone tell? Don't answer.
In the kitchen, I would believe.
Where?
Let's say
Her house.
near the knife block.
Is it a house or an apartment? Do we know?
I would assume apartment.
We're assuming.
No, they're rich. House.
We're assuming too much. We don't
Yeah,
know,
okay,
though.
house.
A house.
You guys know me.
It's a
You know.
house. It's definitely
House.
a mansion, a big mansion.
Is it?
Oh yeah, she's
I
rich.
have a house. It's a house.
What does it
It's a-
look like?
It's a big 3-story house with all glass rooms.
No,
Well,
my
this happened a while
my
ago.
friend's house looked like that, though.
Sounds like you.
Do you guys know what her dad does for a living?
He works at
For
NASA.
NASA, yeah.
Yeah.
The space
Mm-hmm.
program?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does he do for NASA?
Computer programming, like the math and stuff.
So, I have a question.
Yes.
What part of the kitchen were you in?
I wasn't in the kitchen.
Oh,
You weren't in the kitchen?
Then
We
where
all
were you?
pictured him in the kitchen.
speak up.
I wasn't in the kitchen. I was in my brother's bedroom.
And where did she get the knife from? Did she always have a knife on her, like in her back
No.
pocket or something?
question.
Her bra.
Did she just like, was it like, came out in the room out of nowhere holding a knife, or like?
We were like in her room because, you know, when my mom terrorizes us, we just go to my brother's bedroom and hide. And then she just came in the room with my dad and just had a knife, and I was like, we're all gonna die.
I would hide under the bed.
So what was your brother doing in all this?
He was so scared. Like, I remember him like trying to talk to my dad and stuff. He was like 8. Like, he it's so unfair to him that he had to be put in that position. Like, it's not his
Why
responsibility.
are you so protective of your brother?
Because he's a precious little angel.
You were there too, though.
And you're
Probably.
younger.
What about
You were
you?
a lot younger.
Yeah, what about you?
I don't really remember that. Like, my brother is just, like, so important to me.
And you're probably important to him.
Are you?
I don't know, like, since I've been gone, like, he's been pretty much normal.
But you're telling me how like he always wants to protect you with everything.
He really does. I know that. He wouldn't have came on the phone during multifamily if he didn't care about you.
By the way,
Exactly.
raise of hands. Who here deals with depression?
Oh, I do. That's a big hand.
Okay. Wow.
Put all 4.
Okay,
5
cool.
fingers up.
What's the 3?
All right, now raise a hand.
Just-
Who has dealt with depression and seems to be kind of over it right now?
Yeah.
All right. So you're done with depression?
Yeah.
You're done with depression?
Yes.
No more?
I've gotten so much better.
Yeah,
That's great.
kind of. Well, I mean, I've been here before actually, so yeah. I'd say that I'm kind of done with hosting a little pity party for myself.
Mm-hmm. How about you?
Like, I tried that, it didn't work.
He's not over it
Yeah, it's more like
yet.
yeah. For me, I have to work on a lot of like my understanding my own emotions because I just push that to the side.
He doesn't feel.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel
Okay.
for other people like myself. I
Yeah.
think.
You just disconnected from your own emotions.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? I was thinking about this because when you go back to your parents' house, and you all know this because you probably many of you will go back to your parents' house from here.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff that's not an issue here becomes an issue again
Mm-hmm.
because it's the environment that fostered it. And I was thinking, I did pretty well. I did like 70% being home, and I kept it together. 30% I went off the hinges. But that's pretty good because that's usually 50-50. So I'm getting better. I'm improving. I'm growing up. I feel good about it. But
Good.
Thank you.
Also, just hit myself in the teeth.
But I realized something.
That's
A
really-
lot of times, depression is when you feel like you're not getting an adequate shake on things. Does that make sense to you guys?
Shake?
Like a deal, okay. You know the old saying, "Feeling hard done by," right? You feeling hard done by? Have you ever heard that?
No. I'm a fetus. I'm little. Sorry.
It's okay.
You're
Let me
good.
try. I'm trying to think of how to articulate because I had a very interesting thought when I was
But
back
if you
in
get
New
to
York.
say it, I get to say it.
Or people that are grossed out by it.
The disconnect between what you feel you're entitled to have and what you're getting can cause depression. Like in any situation, if you feel you're entitled to a certain level of treatment, a certain thing, certain respect, certain emotional considerations, anything that you feel that you're entitled to versus the reality of what you have, that disconnect, that middle area is often depression. So like for a lot of people in show business, because I grew up in show business, I've been in show business for many years, a lot of people in show business are depressed. And you talk to them, and you're like, why are you depressed? Anyone want to guess? It's pretty easy. Why are they depressed?
Because they have everything, but
No.
nothing at the same time.
Okay, maybe that's true for some of them.
Yeah.
Super deep.
Okay, that's true. I didn't specify that I'm talking about people who aren't successful. It's because they feel that they should have gotten more success, the people. And even the ones who are successful feel they should have gotten more success. I should have gotten more respect. I should have gotten more money. I should have gotten more opportunity. I should have gotten should. The word should have is almost the word depression. This is the revelation I had this week in New York. They shouldn't have talked to me. I should have this. Should is depression. Like I should have been treated better. Therefore I'm depressed. Right? But when you transcend past the should to the reality of the situation, when you don't rely on someone else, when you don't give somebody else the power, okay? And you don't give somebody else the power of your feelings, right? You take control of your own feelings. Like when you don't say my feelings are contingent on the way you treat me, on you fulfilling things for me, on you stepping up to the plate and being who I need or want or think you should be, when you remove that from the equation, depression is gone. Because it's not a factor. The only one in charge of your feelings now is you. And if you're in charge of your feelings, you're going to give yourself the best treatment possible. You're not going to, if I told you, here's two options, a good one and a bad one, which one are you going to take? You take the good one. Once you realize the options are yours for the taking, you take the good option. The bad option, depression, you're also taking it. You just don't realize that you're taking it when you're taking it because your brain tricks you into thinking that it was someone else's decision. So when we talk about your abuse from your mom, and not to discount any of it, it's horrible. It's horrible. And you should have gone through what you went through. It's only human and normal. It would have been robotic for you to come to the conclusion that I'm coming to now without first having gone through the depression.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it wouldn't have been human.
Yeah.
You did the human thing. You didn't do anything wrong by being depressed. You didn't do anything wrong by spiraling out in different ways, right? But as you become self-aware, you start to realize what are the lies you've been told societally, emotionally, and what are the truths. And once you see the truth, you can't unsee it. I know that this all sounds like very abstract, but
No, I've heard this.
What?
Don't worry, I've heard it.
You've heard it? So, okay, say it back to me so I can know that you are thinking what I'm thinking.
So, like, basically, when you're growing up, you feel entitled to certain things, but when you don't get what you think you should have gotten, you become depressed because, like, your expectations weren't met.
Mhm.
And once you realize that you hold, like, the power to change your feelings about things and that you shouldn't be dependent on other things or other people's actions or treatment towards you, then you realize that you have options and that you can actually choose to feel better.
Yeah, it's exactly what I said. It's pretty great. Yeah, and it's really true. But do you feel it's true, or do you?
Yeah, I've actually gotten a lot better.
Yeah, it's very true. It's you're massaging it. She's like rubbing the mic up to the plant.
I'm a very reporter kind of person.
So like when we talk about depression, it's not wrong for you to have felt depressed. It's not wrong for you to still feel depressed as you work your way out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But depression is an indulgence. As someone who quote unquote suffered, I don't know if I still want to use that word, but I guess I could say suffered with depression for years before I conquered it. I mean, more than maybe 2 decades.
I was gonna say you should say I conquered depression.
I conquered it. You know, more than I conquered it, I evaporated it. Because that's how I feel about it. Like, whoosh, like I like, you know, when you evaporate some water, like you hit it with heat or something, you know, and it evaporates. You hit the depression with the right emotion, and it evaporates. It's just like, you just extinguish it. It's gone.
Yeah.
Vaporize it, whatever you want to call it, you know? Anyway, the only way to do that is to work through it, which is what you're doing in therapy, talking about the abuse, coming to actualization, understanding how it affected you. And you know what's big for me also? Understanding the psychology of your parents and why, because that's how you understand that it's not your fault.
Yeah, that was so huge for me when I found out what happened to my mom. I was like, she had her reasons.
What happened to your mom?
She was in the war.
Which
all
war?
Her, Vietnam. All her friends died. Her sister died. Her dad died. Her mom smuggled rice. They came on a boat to California with her cousin, who's now my aunt, because my grandma adopted her.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, she had a lot of loss, and she just, like, kept on hoping through all that, and she's been through some stuff, and I get it.
Wow, what a totally different life your mom has had from what you've had.
Yeah, it's very different.
Hard to relate.
Yeah, but I can, like, have compassion for her because I know that. Before I was like, I don't know why, but she probably has a reason.
Right, it's confusing.
It's good to find out.
Yeah. Once you understand the psychology behind it, you realize it's not you. It's not your fault. You're not being punished. It's not like you're a bad person in that.
The table isn't itchy, Maxwell.
Maxwell, what's going on with you? Because, you. What?
Me?
Yeah,
I've got hives.
You have hives?
Yeah.
Very bad.
For about a week now.
Oh no, it's been a full week today. It's been a whole week.
Yeah, I think it's
They're
been
not
like
contagious.
9 days.
It's not contagious?
I
No.
feel so
Yeah, I'm his
bad for us.
roommate.
He
I know.
hasn't been sleeping. Like,
Yeah, I woke up in the middle of the night and he's
well,
like
Maxwell,
scratching
but yeah,
in the
he's been
bathroom.
like just
Really?
like scratching and.
What do you think
I've
about
been
all
staying
all-
up like worrying.
Maxwell, you've had a lot of depression. What do you think of this conversation? Does any of it resonate with you?
Everything starts with like.
I can't really hear you.
Yeah.
The microphone.
I can't.
Okay, it's because of the wire. Wait. Everything like it happens for a reason, and
Yeah, we can't.
everything really happens for a reason, and no matter what, it's just gonna like. You're depressed for a reason. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, everyone has the reason. There's a reason why someone did something that caused you to be depressed. Like, I could relate to that. My stepfather was an alcoholic, and he was going through his own problems, but his alcoholism got to me, which is why I started being depressed. And through his alcoholism caused like abuse, which caused depression. But like, if I wasn't depressed, I wouldn't have gone through so many beautiful things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be this wise. I'd probably be like Sarah times 2.
Who?
Thanks,
in
Maxwell.
eighth
I'd be like
grade.
Princey times 2. It would just be a mess. I wouldn't be.
Mhm.
No offense to you. You're not.
I don't get it.
I'm not trying to be mean.
I don't understand.
I know you're not.
Just
I would have been
eighth
someone
grade
totally
in
different.
general, everyone is so ignorant except for the people in treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Those
It's
are the
like-
only people that have like insight, but everyone else in my school is just
It's so
Yeah.
true.
Oh, yeah, you have
I kind of have a story with that.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah, so when I went to get my haircut, actually, like the lady, she's like, "Do you want me to shave your beard?" And I'm like, "No, because I'm in treatment. You know, there's
Yeah.
no shave." And she was like, "You know, where are you at? What's your problem?" And she's like, "Cause I just went and I told her like from anger and
Yeah.
like drug abuse." And she was like, "You know, I just went through that, and like no one else is gonna understand that.
Wow.
But my husband left me, all this stuff." And she said, "You really just gotta find someone who actually gets it, cause anyone else is not gonna get it.
Right.
Mhm.
You know."
You have to
The-
go to the people who like.
Microphone.
You have to go to the people who've actually been through it.
Yeah.
People that understand.
Yeah, because they're
You
not
can't
gonna
ju-
understand
you can't
otherwise.
Just go up to like some weirdo and
Yeah.
be like, "Hey, I'm depressed."
yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Think of the level of
B&T.
depth we're having in this conversation alone.
Yeah.
And this isn't even one of our deepest conversations that we've ever had.
Are you or someone you know looking for treatment options in Los Angeles? The Los Angeles Outpatient Center is an adult clinic specializing in mental health and eating disorders. Located in Culver City, California, LAOP offers day and evening programs to accommodate individuals' busy lives and treatment needs. Each treatment plan is individualized and includes both group and individual therapy sessions and daily free nourishing meals. Most major insurance companies are accepted, and their program specialists are there to help you every step of the way. Learn more at laopcenter.com or by calling 888-928-3805.
So let's talk to Wizard now, because that was the first half, and thank you very much, and thank you for the introduction to your life and who you are, and excited to work with you more, and we'll talk more. But now we're going to talk to Wizard.
All right.
So tell us all about yourself. Get it going.
All right.
Wait. Sorry, Maxwell called first question. Go ahead.
So, where'd you get your name, Wizard?
I think we all know that one.
I don't.
All right. Well, I mean, there's this story. A clean version of this.
There is no clean version.
Oh
No.
no. Mm-mm.
Okay, maybe it's not worth it.
Yeah, it's not worth it. It's just
Okay, a
Okay.
more appropriate question.
Yeah, more appropriate question.
Why did you decide to come to treatment? Like, overall, it's no one's decision but yours, but why did you choose to come to treatment?
Good question.
The main reason is because I want to, or there's a few reasons, but like one of the biggest reasons is because I'm trying to go into the military, and I'm trying to my best to not take any medication when I go in because you're not allowed to.
Mm-hmm.
And well, first I kind of have to go from my past though.
What about medical
Yeah,
meds?
let's get. Take
yeah.
us on this journey. I'm even putting my mic down. I'm leaving it to all you guys to make this a really good interview for me to listen to. I'll chime in only if I have to.
Are you allowed to take like medical stuff in the military?
What do you mean, like?
Like I got
an
GERD.
inhaler.
Yeah, no, you're not allowed to have asthma.
Wait, GERD. I got
yeah,
GERD.
you can't have asthma.
Well, I'm out of the military.
I got GERD.
I signed a
and-
contract. Thank
Yeah.
goodness.
So long, Trace.
You gotta be like in the prime of your life, like
Yeah.
healthy all the way.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
you can't
Yeah.
have like any physical or mental problems. So
No,
they're
not
expecting
at
a
all.
perfect Jesus Christ to
Okay.
work.
I mean,
my
like,
God.
most people lie.
You know
Exactly.
what? I
Okay.
think you're gonna get there.
I hope so.
I'll help
But
you.
from your question,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to backtrack a little bit to.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is could be a little bit of it.
Mhm.
When I was in one of the really big like depression things that it lasted like a few months. This one, and this I kind of just like gave up on everything, and I didn't like I barely ate. I barely showered. I barely got out of bed. Like even though I wanted to eat and I wanted to do so, I didn't care enough to make any of that happen. So I just was just staying in my bed, and I would have been okay with dying, but I didn't care enough to even make that happen. I didn't care about anything.
I still feel that.
And I can't have that if I'm in the military. Like once I join, that can't be happening.
Yeah.
Why do you want to join the military so bad? Like it sounds like your entire life is like. I mean, you're wearing a fucking shirt.
I mean, you're missing like the good years of your life. I just want to know like a good reason why.
Well, I guess kind of a few things. One of the smallest reasons I'll start with is I've had a lot of family in the military.
What?
I've had a lot of family in the military. That's one of the smallest reasons. But then I see what happens all across the world, even like here, the Middle East, of like just people, like innocent people getting like their heads chopped off, or just like
So you
terrible
wanna
things happen.
So you want to stop it?
Yeah, I know I won't be able to stop all of it, but I don't want to sit here knowing what's happening
And do nothing about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I could help with, but that's one thing that I think I could help with the most. And there might be other things like here that other people could help with, but for me, that's what I think I could do the best with.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what I want to do is pararescue, and that's a combat medic thing, and that will they'll help our troops, and they'll help the civilians who are caught in the middle that shouldn't be involved in it in the first place.
So you're gonna want to go into medical field almost?
Possibly, yeah.
No offense, but you're not like the most mentally stable human being ever, and you're gonna have so much PTSD.
Yeah, I have other plans for that too. There's another one that's called there's a few other things that I have, but that's like my number one, and that's why I'm here, to try to get myself to be able to get in that mental state to be able to make it in there. And if I can't, I'm not gonna do it because I don't want to hurt other people.
Like something like it's in the top 10 like ways that people die in America is suicide. Like I feel like it's just a lot more important to like help on that because you have like so much knowledge of that and you like get it. And, like,
I could do both.
yeah, you
If you're
should.
secretly trans.
You should.
You're gonna be turned down by Trump.
Oh
my God,
No, I'm not.
No, I'm not. Nice.
But yeah, I mean, after the military, even in the military, I could still like try to help other people, especially because of how many people kill themselves in the military.
Mm-hmm.
True that.
I could be able to help in that case.
If I didn't sign a contract, I'd join the military and shoot myself.
All right. By the way, good job, everybody.
Thank you.
Really good job. I can't sit back anymore. I'm fascinated. I'm locked in. I want to ask you a question. Let's say, hypothetical, tomorrow, freaking head of the military, undisputed, whatever he says goes. Okay? Hypothetical. Comes over here and says, no, I don't want you. Military doesn't want you. There's no way. And you're like, what if I fight really hard and I could, it's just not going to happen. Then like we get like every like future fortune teller, whatever it is, everyone's like, it's never going to happen. And we know beyond any shadow of a doubt, it's never going to happen. Like there's no question, you're never going to be in the military, ever. What's your next plan of attack? Like what do you do then?
I really want to go in still, but
it's too bad. It's never happening.
I would probably go to this underwater welding trade school.
Why?
I like doing hands-on stuff. I like adventure type things.
Underwater welding?
Yeah, and they make a lot of money too.
That sounds hella cool.
That sounds really cool.
What is that?
Yeah.
It could be from, well, usually they they could work on bridges, they could do boats, just like fix things or make things like underwater to help us like do stuff.
Yeah, like if a bridge is like cracking, like they dive down and weld it back.
I'm gonna suggest that to my brother. That sounds like something he do.
So you still want to help people no matter what.
Yeah.
So what's this helping people? Where does that come from? You don't
I
know?
don't know. I just always want to help people.
You don't know?
Yeah.
I would think that is probably the number one thing we should look into while you're working here with me in this group. Because that is a huge question mark, that you have this identity that's like a person who wants to help people, and you're missing a huge part of the self-realization of why.
I have a question. So do you think you want to help people because, like, your dad couldn't help you? Do you think that has anything
And
to
that
do with
you
it?
can't help yourself sometimes.
Yeah, and you can't have your, like that,
You
and
just don't want
and
that
you
for other
can't help your
people.
dad, you know?
That could be part of it, but I wouldn't say that's the full part.
Yeah.
That's say
It's definitely got to
Yeah.
be part of it. I
Yeah,
mean, that seems like
a part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could
Yeah.
definitely be
that seems
part of
like it would have to be part of it.
it. Yeah.
What's the story with your dad? Because I'm not filled in on that part of it.
He's an alcoholic.
By profession?
I get.
I don't think that is a profession.
No.
Professional alcoholic? Oh, very nice.
He doesn't have a job right now, but he
He's-
did.
He doesn't have a job?
He works in TV business, so he's.
You
on
guys have the same dad?
No, I just talked to him a lot.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, he's on a hiatus right now, or he hasn't really been able to.
He
I mean,
was
he
in the
kinda-
he was in the TV business
Yeah.
as an actor or what?
First AD.
Okay, what is that?
First assistant director.
Okay,
So yeah, he's worked on big shows, but so he's like a functioning alcoholic somewhat.
every alcoholic is a functioning alcoholic somewhat.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, they get at least function to drink alcohol.
Yeah.
It's a function.
Yeah. I know when my dad was an alcoholic, he has recently got over that.
Uh-huh.
But I know, like, he would go to work, you know, he could keep a job and stuff. And
Yeah.
he would sometimes drive. But he was a functioning alcoholic, fully functioning alcoholic.
I think it's such a funny term, functioning alcoholic. Like,
No, but this was
You could
like,
just say
fully
alcoholic.
functioning. Yeah.
or employed alcoholic.
Yeah.
But functioning, like, we're all functioning.
Yeah.
Even people
Yeah.
who are, like, everybody's functioning. Where did
Yeah,
they come up
even
with
when
this
you're
term?
like in a wheelchair, you're still
Yeah.
functioning.
Yeah,
Right.
You know?
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get. Now that you bring
Buddha
that up, I don't get that.
I don't get it either.
I think it's because the D said it a lot, so we kind of got used to it.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're gonna say anything, you could say a malfunctioning alcoholic, right? Because you're not functioning as you should function.
Yeah.
But it's such a strange, or maybe it's an alcoholic that attends a lot of functions. Like, that's a functioning alcoholic. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, what are you doing? I'm going drinking at another function, Met Gala or something. There's a lot of functioning alcoholics. It was so funny. I was talking in one of my other groups about, like, somebody. I'm like, what do you mom do? And I was like, oh, stay-at-home mom, which is like another one of those terms that I think is hilarious. Like a stay-at-home mom. Like, are there go outside moms? Like, oh, my mom is a go outside mom. Oh, she's not allowed to stay at home? No. You know. Well, I have a stay at hotel mom, and she just stays at the hotel. Or like, what if she's like an indoor outdoor mom, like how people talk about their cat? Like, she's a stay at home mom, but we let her roam around the neighborhood and catch mice. You know. Like, I've never. It's such a funny thing to call someone a stay at home. Like, can you imagine? Look at that bug on there. That's an interesting looking bug on the light.
There's
So-
just so many bugs everywhere.
Oh, it's a cockroach. Oh man.
Where?
Yeah, I don't know. Leave it on the light. He's just listening
Cute.
in on the group. You know, people always say if I could be a fly on the wall. This guy's like, if I could be a cockroach on the lamp. You know, like, it's such a funny like the stay at home. Like, imagine this is a scenario I'd love to see. There's the family, and the kids are getting ready for, like, it's a big trip. They're going to Disneyland. Dad's like, kids, get in the car. And the kids all pile into the car wearing their Mickey Mouse T-shirts. And then the mom starts getting in the van. They're like, you're a stay-at-home. You're a stay-at-home mom. You're not coming to Disneyland. And she's like, I want to be a go-outside mom. No, you're a stay-at-home mom. You stay at home. She's like, all right, I know.
Just
I'm
like-
sorry.
Oh,
Have you seen the things like they're like we're going to Disneyland to the kids, and then they get in the car and they're like, we're going to the dentist.
They just keep lying.
That's
hilarious. The
I've
mom
seen
thinks
videos-
they all have the ballerist life, but they're really
Yeah, they're like, yo, we're going to Disneyland. You're so excited, and then like they're all like screaming, and then they drive past Disneyland, and then they go to the dentist.
It's too funny. That's hilarious. I'm gonna. Can I retell that? That's really funny. That's really.
We're going
funny.
to Disneyland. Dentist.
Same difference.
Okay, so the real term is unemployed mom. You're not a stay-at-home mom. You're just a voluntarily unemployed mom. You don't want to get a job because you want to take care of the family. That's like that. But call yourself a stay-at-home is such a funny term. Like
you could just say professional mom. That's the thing.
That's not a profession. It's a passion. A passionate mom. I'm a passionate mom who's decided not to have a profession. In lieu of a profession, I take care of my family. But it's not a profession. It's a lie to call it a profession unless you're making a living from it. That's a profession.
Maybe I bet you somewhere like there's this spouse that's paying their spouse to
Stay at
take
home?
care of the kids and stuff. And
Then they're a professional mom.
yeah, bet you somewhere.
If they're getting a salary, or like if they're like they have a mom blog, maybe that makes them a professional mom. If that's
like advise other people.
But there's also a concept that nobody talks about, which I think is a lazy mom. And there are lazy dads too.
Yeah.
And they're just legitimately lazy, and they don't want to acknowledge it, so they just say that they're stay-at-home.
Yeah.
And they're just why are you watching, Maury for the 10th time this week? And they're like, I'm a stay-at-home. You're lazy. You're lazy, and you have a giant Costco-sized thing of cheese balls next to you. You're lazy. I don't know.
My back hurts.
Cockroach on the lamp.
That just reminds me of like my stepdad. He wanted to be a stay-at-home dad only because he wanted to drink all the time, which sucks. So just sharing that. So
A malfunctioning alcoholic, stay-at-home, unemployed dad.
Wonderful person.
Deadbeat.
Deadbeat's another good term. Think about that one. A deadbeat.
No, you're not the deadbeat. I'm talking about your.
Just like the dead beat.
No, yeah, that's what.
Or dead beetle.
Yeah, or no, like the food, the beat.
The beat.
Yeah.
But or like in the beat. Pop, 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 pop.
Oh, it's just like dead.
It's just a dead beat.
It's not fire beat. It's a dead beat.
It's a dead beat. Like a pair of Beat headphones that died would be dead beats. I have a pair of dead
We
beats
need
at
to
home.
stop making puns
Same.
about horrible
Yeah.
parents.
Same.
Let's get into it.
Yeah. So, anyway, listen, it's pretty interesting. I think that you're so obsessed with, and I think Sink said it, interesting insight into this, but your obsession with taking care of other people, you both have this in common, our two new people, like you with your brother, and you with the country and the world. I mean, you've really gone macro with this thing, right? Like, you're like, I don't like people's heads getting cut off. I'm going to be a superhero. So, interesting, very, very interesting insight that you haven't really dug very deep on this. And even this story that where you were more worried about your brother's life as a knife was being held to your neck gives me an interesting insight into where you were at anyway.
Yeah. I wanted to help people too, but like in psychiatry because I feel like I'd be more experienced in that, and because I'm physically not perfect.
You're what? Not perfect?
I'm physically like not perfect.
How so?
For like the military is what you mean.
Yeah, like
Okay.
I don't think I'd be able to do that.
What's with the sleeves?
Self-harm.
Uh,
So I gotta
you
wear
too?
them.
I just wear mine like
It-
this way.
She
because-
wears hers like this, but they'd get pissed at me if I did that.
Uh-huh. So you've been self-harming a lot?
Not here. I don't know. I haven't been here, so I haven't had any urges, so I've been good. But
Yeah.
I wear them.
You guys, I wanna talk about this a little bit too because, okay, I've decided that I'm kind of, I think I've talked about it a little bit, but I'm kind of I'm not officially ready to say I'm against the term triggered, but let's just say I'm triggered by it. I don't like the term triggered,
I don't either.
and
It just reminds me of the meme where the guy's like,
Yeah.
triggered.
Yeah,
I don't know
same.
I
that
always
one.
think about that.
Yeah, that's anytime someone says that, I just think of like the guy and he's going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's a very
Hashtag do your
enabling
trigger
term.
face.
Let's discuss this for a minute because like you said urges, and urges made me think of triggered, and I think it's almost like I think sometimes language is invented, and that's why went on this whole tangent about like stay-at-home mom
This is
Yeah.
the proper way to wear these.
and functioning alcoholic. I think language plays a huge role in identity and in our own personal psychology. And I think certain words have agendas. And I think there's an agenda behind the word triggered, and I think it's an enabling agenda to say to people, because when you say you're triggered, right? That's almost an allowance.
Yeah,
That's
you're making the decision to let something in your past come up and just make you upset.
Yeah, instead of saying I'm reminded or I'm feeling emotional because of this thing, triggered is almost an excuse instead of a what's the word I'm trying to use?
Like
Accountability.
Yeah.
So instead of like saying like when this thing happens, I'm reminded of this abuse that I had, and it's bringing up emotions for me that I'd like to now work on. People say I'm triggered by that, as in just stop it.
Mm-hmm.
So like
Yeah.
triggered doesn't usually mean okay, let me now overcome. It means you stop so I can maintain my damage,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it is. At my last residential, everyone said that. And I was just like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Because when you go in the real world, you can't just tell people to stop doing things. That's not how it works.
Insane. It's insane because it's actually counter healing.
Mm-hmm.
Like just saying I'm triggered means leave my problem to fester
Yeah.
and to own me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Isn't it a D who says, "Don't let you, don't." What am I trying to say? Like, don't let your triggers affect. Don't let your triggers affect what other people are doing.
But
That's a
even
deep-
there, the word triggers is in it.
Yeah, I know.
Like, why are we calling them triggers?
I think they're just
like-
more old school, by the book. But
Maxwell, what's your opinion?
they just say,
Yeah.
"Don't let."
Yeah, Maxwell, what's your opinion?
Triggers are stupid.
Oh man, this wire is killing me.
Triggers are stupid.
You think so?
Yeah.
Why?
Because everyone's going to get upset.
Yeah.
It could
Yeah.
be triggering if your OCD started to kick in by a paper towel being half opened. Triggers are kind of stupid. It's a stupid term. Upset by something, that's a different thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who knows where the word trigger comes from, right?
Yeah,
think
I
we all
never
do.
used the word trigger till I got here.
But-
I didn't
right
even know what it
until
meant.
you
I
go
didn't.
into treatment, you never hear the word
But,
trigger.
but where,
Exactly.
where,
Except
where have
for
you
in
heard the word
movies.
triggered outside of emotions
Memes.
and outside of
Memes.
memes?
Guns.
Guns.
Yeah.
Fire off trigger.
It's a gun. It's a gun association. When you say I'm triggered, it's almost like someone's putting a finger on a trigger of a gun.
Shots fired.
What the heck is that about? Why?
What
Why?
the hell?
La-di-da-di-da.
Right?
You
Just
get to
blew my
choose.
mind.
Right? Why? Tell me why your mind is
Why
blown.
would they do that?
Right?
Why would we say that in treatment?
Right?
The
Why,
hell?
why are we associating gun violence
I've thought about
with emotion?
What the heck?
Well, because
Oof, I
it's
never
like
thought
a
about it that
metaphor
way.
where it's something little that a small motion that can affect everything, but you have to let it. You have to choose to make the motion.
Mm-hmm.
But it's putting you in the position to do it. So it's kind of like a metaphor and it kind of works, but it's not good. Something else could have been better. Gun violence is not good.
Next time you feel triggered, guys, instead of feeling triggered, look into what is the feeling that you're covering with the all-encompassing word trigger.
Yeah, just
What is
feel
it?
upset, not
And,
triggered.
and then pinpoint
Sad?
why.
Are you angry?
Yeah.
Say, instead of saying, when somebody, let's say for instance, someone was assaulted, and then the conversation about assault comes up, and it's painful for this person who hasn't talked about the assault that they've experienced. And they might be like, look, I don't want to talk about this because I'm triggered, right?
They should say.
Rather than saying it, say, I was assaulted. This is painful for me because I was assaulted.
Just
Yeah.
being up straight and straightforward is so much easier.
Yeah, it's so much
Because
easier.
then you
makes
can
it-
heal. Then you can like.
Yeah, it makes
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
sense
I'm
to
gonna
be
use
up
that.
straight.
I'm gonna use that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna use triggers
I've
anymore.
never said I was triggered before.
I won't either.
Yeah.
I don't really. I never really say the word triggered
Right.
because I've never heard that until I came to treatment.
Yeah.
You
Just-
won't hear it.
I think that's an
Yeah.
important thing. Like, this week, and I'll leave you guys on this thought. Think about when things feel emotional in your groups. Think about why they feel emotional, and then ask yourself a why on top of that, and then a why and why and why. The number
You get
one,
down to the bottom of it.
yeah, the number one question, and I think the only important question in recovery is why.
Yeah, just why?
Why? I feel a certain way. Why? I identify it this way. Why? I have this ambition. Why? Like, why? This happened to me. Why? You know, my parent was like this. Why? Why? Don't stop asking why. Little kids ask why. And you know what happens? They're told because. And then they stop asking why. And they assume that they shouldn't ask why. And then they live a blind life. Don't be blinded. Don't accept no for an answer. Don't accept because for an answer. Be your own best detective. Get to the answer of your story. You want to help people? Why? Because this is this and this. Why? Because this and this and this. Why? Bring out your inner child. Ask the wise guys. Wise guys. Wise guys.
Hey.
Ask the wise guys. Hey, we're wise guys.
Crack.
Guys, thank you so much for this group. It was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Unnoticed Observer, your window into group therapy. Each episode covers a new theme to open the conversation about mental health and offer insight and guidance. New episodes are released every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Pacific Time. Join us on your favorite podcast listening app and make sure to subscribe and follow us on Facebook at Unnoticed Observer Podcast for more. And remember, if you or someone you love is struggling with any mood, behavioral, or personality-related matters, there is help.